welcome to the daily coaching lockdown football training session. So today is session number 2, and today we're looking at 4 key parts of the session. We're starting off with a warm-up, then we're moving into some ball mastery, then a circuit where we'll be looking at some ball movement and also some techniques, and then we're finishing off with a fun cool-down challenge as well at the end, okay? So to get started, for the warm-up you're going to need 1 ball. Once you've got your ball, let's get started. So, for this warm-up, all you're going to do is you're going to put the ball on the floor, and you're going to keep it in between your feet, and you're going to use the inside of your left and your right foot just to try and move the ball around. Okay, so you're going to stay in the same position, you're going to keep on your toes, and just knock that ball from side to side. Okay, so we're going to continuously keep on doing this, so we're getting our body and our feet nice and loose, and warmed up, ready for our activity. If you can, try and keep your head up so that you can see what's going on around you. Like we'll do it again, if the ball starts to get away from you, so just bring it back into the area which you're working in. Okay? It's quite a physically demanding one, this one, because you're constantly moving around and you're constantly taking touches. But remember, as part of our warm-ups, we like to get loads of touches on the ball. And we like to get that repetition in. Okay, so just keep on going from side to side to side. If you can, remember, keep your head up. Now, if you want a little bit of a challenge, so say for example, if you're one of those more experienced or higher ability players, then my advice to you first will be to try and do it quicker. Okay, so then you get more touches in with your feet, so you get a lot more reaction-based movements, okay? So you can have your feet quite close together, a bit further apart, pull this away when you just bring it back close to again. And you're getting more repetition in and creating more reaction. If you're a player who's maybe not as confident and a little bit lower within ability, my advice to you, first of all, be keep the movement slow. So just try and get a technique of really where we're trying to make contact with that ball. And that is the inside of our feet, okay? The inside of our feet. So slow movements, repetition, really perfecting that technique of inside of the feet. Even if you're of that lower ability or less experience, we don't want to get into the habit of looking down, so it's keeping our head up so that we know what's going on around us. I spoke in the last session about how when we're using the sole of our foot, we can feel where the ball is. Similar situation here. When we're using the inside of our feet, we can feel the ball on the inside area, which means we know where the ball is, okay? And also we don't want our feet too close together, we want them about shoulder width apart, but we know that the ball's going to be in between that space, okay, between both of our feet. So it just makes it a little bit easier for repetition and control purposes. Now, again, if you want to try and develop that challenge a little bit further on, my advice to you, rather than be staying in the same area, can we start going in different directions? So it might be now we're going forwards, and we're going backwards, forwards, backwards. And again, we're still using the same technique of the inside of our feet. We're just taking that ball with us on that journey. And again, I'm staying light on my feet so that I'm ready to react to the movement of the ball and to where I want to travel. Again, another direction, you might go from side to side. So I'm now taking the ball with me again, and I'm almost using that inside of my foot as a bit of a barrier to protect the ball from going any further. Right, change up again, forwards, backwards, side. Keeping my head up if I can. Now, again, if you are lucky enough to have somebody with you and somebody able to assist you with this, my advice to them will be can they try and maybe call out some different directions? So say for example, I might be stationary, or not stationary, but in one set position, then I shout out forwards, and then I bring it back. Might shout forwards, and then I bring it back again. Might start further forwards this time, and then I shout backwards, and I take the ball backwards. Go back to my starting point. Backwards. Likewise, pick my starting point, left, and back to my starting point. Right, and then back to my starting point again. So just a few different variations there which you can try out, whether you're by yourself or if you have somebody there with you to assist and help you with those reactions on the ball. Because remember, when we're making reactions, number one is creating a bigger demand or more of a demand out of us. And also number two, we're becoming problem solvers and decision makers, okay? Which direction are we going? How are we going to travel with the ball in between our feet to actually get us there? How many touches do I need to take? Alright, so a few different variations. Remember, for the less experienced ones, just concentrate on that initial technique, alright? So just getting loads of touches with the inside of our feet at a slower pace, okay? And the importance of keeping our head up as we're doing that, okay? Higher ability, lower ability, whoever. Alright? So remember, warm-ups, just make sure you get loads of touches on the ball and loads of repetition. This week, we start looking at the insides of our feet rather than just the sole of our foot, which we've done in the last session. Cool. Cool, so that was our warm-up which we started with. The key points from the warm-up is just to remember that we're going to get lots of touch on the ball. It's just getting us nice and warm in our feet and our body loose for the activities which we'll be doing within the session. Another key point as well is that we was really looking at the techniques of using the insides of our feet, getting comfortable with both our left and our right foot, so that as we become more comfortable, we also become more confident with the ball as well. So now we're going to move into the ball mastery exercise, and for this ball mastery exercise, you're going to still need your ball, but you're also going to need two objects. Now I've got 2 cones because that's what I have access to, but if you don't have access to cones, you can also use objects such as trainers, jumpers, shoes, toilet rolls, anything that you may have access to, okay? So go and grab your 2 objects, make sure you have your ball, and then we can get started. Cool, so for this ball mastery exercise, I'm going to place my 2 objects down like this. They're going to have a gap or a space in between them, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to start here by one of the objects. I'm going to place the ball on the floor, and my task is this. I need to travel in, out and around these cones in almost like a path of a snake, or in the shape of a figure of a number 8, okay? I'm going to use one foot to start off with, it's going to be my more comfortable one, but I'm going to use a variation of different touches, so the inside of the foot, the outside of the foot, and possibly the sole of the foot as well, okay? So just travel it in, and now using a variation of touches, which we kind of briefly looked at last session. The outside, using the sole keep under control. Key thing with this one is you need to think about what the demands are of this exercise. So that's why I'm starting off with my more comfortable foot, my more confident foot. So I want to figure out what it is that this exercise is asking of me. And you can tell so far that I'm going to have a very close control of the ball. Okay, so I'm doing a variation of different movements. Like I said, the sole, the inside, the outside, just to keep the ball under control and just to keep it close by to my feet. Remember what we spoke about in the last session? We said the inside and the outside of our feet. It helps us to direct the ball into a space, or possibly away from an object. Once you've done it a few times, and you're more confident, comfortable, right there. So exactly the same thing, using different parts of our feet, or making sure I still keep it close under tight control. Think about whatever foot you're using, what type of reactions you need to make with your body, in terms of turning, behind the ball. Couple more. Cool. Right. So we use our left foot and our right foot to travel around this area that we set out. We've got it in the shape of an 8. This time what I'm going to ask you to do is you're going to do it with both your feet. Now, if you're not quite ready to move on to that, although my advice would be that actually using both of your feet can help you to keep it under control a little bit easier, because say for example, if I'm travelling over to this side, well, my left foot's going to be closest to where the ball's travelling towards. So it's going to be easier for me to stop with my left than it's going to be my right, okay? So, try and use both your feet. If you're not quite ready to do that yet, and you're still just working on one of your feet to travel in and out this area, my advice would be, again, similar to the last session, that when you get to a certain point, just stop the ball. Okay, so it might be a travel in and out, and stop. Turn, travel in and out, and stop. So I'm just getting the ball under control, and I can really work on that tight, close control of the ball. Not always just moving in different directions, but also sometimes just having it actually physically underneath my feet so I know where the ball is. Alright? And you're not constantly chasing after it. But if you're ready for the next challenge, like I said, you're going to use both your feet to help you keep control of this ball. Again, using a variation of different parts of the feet, the inside of our foot, the outside of our foot, the sole of our foot. Again, similar to our warm-up, loads of touches and loads of repetitions here on the ball. Couple more. Okay, cool. Now, again, if you're a higher ability player, or you're a player who's a bit more advanced within their experiences within the game, my advice would be is two things. Number one, so once you start using both your feet, you can start turning a little bit quicker. Okay, so yeah, a bit of quick speed. Think about different types of reactions you need to do. A little short, sharp bursts in between that different space, and a really tight, close control. Let's go around the corners or around the objects. Or you could possibly look to try and have your objects a little bit closer together. Okay? And what that will mean is it will just mean that you'll need a closer control of the ball, and there'll be more turns and changes of directions involved in that movement. Okay? Now, if, say for example, you've done all of those, the next task for you to be, or the next task I want you to try and do, is similar again to the last session, where we're not only thinking about the changing direction of the ball, or changing movement in the ball, but also ourselves, okay? So, it will look something like this. I'm travelling through, I'm changing my body position as well, so I'm able to react and turn based on whether or not there's a defender that wants to be close by. I'm turning away from danger, or if I'm possibly turning, create myself a little bit of space so that I can possibly then go on and make a pass. Alright, so there's a few different variations and challenges there which you can get yourself stuck into. Remember, adapt it and vary it based on your ability, experience, and ability within the game, or age within the game. So a few different variations there. And again, if you are lucky enough to have somebody with you, what they can possibly do is help to try and create a reaction again. So possibly I'm travelling in a certain direction, so there's change. Okay, back around again. Change. 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 And so on. Okay, so they can help you to react when on the ball and make that reaction quickly and and sharply by changing the direction of your body to travel into a new direction. And like I said, in a game, it might be relevant perhaps if you see a defender who's coming close by to you, or if you're looking to maybe create space and present that opportunity to pass the ball to a teammate. Excellent. Cool, so that was our ball mastery exercise. So remember, some of the key points for the ball mastery exercise is making sure that we're having a range of different touches on the ball. We experience using our inside of our foot, our outside of our foot, and the sole of our foot as well. Repetition on these parts of the feet are crucial to being able to become more comfortable and confident using both parts of our feet, and also in learning and developing these techniques too, okay? Another key point as well, as I explained throughout that session, it's really important to practice on both your left and your right foot as well, based on the situations that you may find yourself within a game, and also, like I said, just to enhance that development of those techniques and of moving with the ball in different parts of the feet as well. So now we're going to move on to our circuit. So today's circuit, we're going to be looking at some ball movement and also focusing again on some techniques using a different part of the foot. So what you're going to need for this is you're going to need some more objects. Again, I've got more cones, but if you don't have cones, like I said before, with the ball mastery exercise, just get your hands on some more jumpers, some more jackets, some more trainers, some more toilet rolls, even whatever you have access to. I have about 5 or 6 items. It's up to you how many you have, because the more you have, the more repetition you can get in within this exercise. You also still going to need your ball. So once you've got your objects and once you've got your ball, we're ready to go. Cool, so this ball circuit exercise is all about trying to find ways to get the ball up off the ground, in the air, but also still trying to keep it under control. So what I'm going to do is I've got my objects scattered around the spaces which we've been working in. They're going to have spaces in between them, each of these objects. Obviously my objects are all the same height, but if you have any different types of objects, so some which are lower, some which are higher, then even better, because it's going to create different types of outcomes as well. Okay, what we're going to do is you're going to start the ball anywhere around the area. And you're almost doing 2 types of movements here, because what you're starting off with is the ball movements that we've been doing in this session and also previous sessions as well. Lots of different ball movement skills which are included. And the aim of this game is this: when you get up to one of these objects, you have to try and find a way to get the ball to travel over it. So as an example, we're travelling around, place an object, skip over, get under control, and carry on moving. Okay, so you're travelling the ball. Close to an object, scoop, and then carry on moving. Alright? So, have quite a few goes at this. I'm just going to have a few repetitions and try and be creative as you want. That was just one way of getting the ball over, but you can try a whole host of different ways. I'm going to show you a few in this example. I'm travelling around, ball movement, and it goes to an object, scoop. Variations there. The main thing with this game is it's about exploring, okay? So there's no wrong or right answers, or no wrong or right way of actually getting the ball over it, okay? We're just working on different techniques, and you're trying to use different parts of our feet to actually get the ball up into the air and over one of these objects. Now, if you're of the younger age group, or the less confident ability, or perhaps you're less experienced in the game of football, my advice to you would be one of 2 things. First of all, as you're travelling around with the ball movement skills, which you've been practicing in this session and the last session, as you find an object that you want to try and go over, stop the ball, and you're going to use the front area of your foot. Now, I'm not pointing the laces because you're not actually using the lace area, you're using the area just below that. And what you're doing is you're scooping the ball up and over, alright? So I'll get my foot underneath, and I'm almost lifting the ball with my foot. Okay, so scoop, get it under control, stop it. Remember using the sole of our foot. And turning around, trying to find another object. If I've stopped it, scoop, and I carry on moving. Try one more time, find an object, scoop, and then I get it under control and I can carry on moving. Now the key thing to this one is making sure that you stop the ball so it's under your control. You're not lifting your foot that high. Watch how high my foot goes off the ground. You're scooping, a little touch off the ground, just enough to be able to get over the object. Again, this may differ based on the height of the objects that you have and what you put out, but it's just a slight lift of the foot just to help guide that ball over the object, okay? And the other thing I want to talk to you about is if you are of that less ability group or you're less confident or less experienced in the game, listen, try and get the ball under control if you've done the scoop. So take my scoop, take it under control, brilliant. That's going to help you to be able to make your next movement within the circuit. But if it does go away from you for the first few goes, don't stress about it too much. If it goes, well, come away from me, don't stress too much, because at the moment we're just exploring ways to actually get the ball over. Alright? So that's if you're of that less ability group or less confident group. If you're of the higher ability group and you're more confident within your game of football and more experienced, then my advice to you would be this. Try and make the ball not come to a complete stop. So as an example, I'm running around doing my ball movement skills, I might roll the ball and I'm going to almost like a kick up. Okay? The ball hasn't come to a complete stop. I make my ball movement skills. Again, little touches because my objects are quite small and aren't that high off the ground. All the way comes to a complete stop. All the way comes to this under control. Do one more, keep the ball moving, try to make it stop. One more. Or you can do the knee there as well. So, as you can see, you can be as creative as you want with this one. Okay, you really can. The main thing is you're just working on different techniques and finding and exploring different ways to actually get the ball to go over these objects, alright? Again, if you're of that more higher ability group or more experienced group, then I'd ask you to maybe see if you can combine some movements. Okay, and what I mean by that is, as you saw when I done the one where we've done a kick up slice, I'm using a few different movements here. Okay? Almost use the knee there as well. So try that one again. So as I'm turning around, ball goes back. I'm using a few different movements there. I'm not just using one movement like the scoop technique. Okay, I'm using the sole of my foot, I'm using the top part area of my foot. I'm using actually my knee as well at one stage, okay? But then again, really fun with it, be creative as you may have seen. I trap the ball between my feet and I actually jump over it, get it over the cones, over the objects. You can do things like that. You can try and almost compete with people and see how creative you can get. You might do things like roly-polies, whatever you want. Remember, these sessions are here to help you technically and psychologically in the game, so decision making and problem solving, but also as well, we want to have that fun element and really love the game of football. Okay, so a few different variations. One quick thing as well, if you do have somebody else with you, say for example if you have a parent or you have a sibling with you, what you can do as well is, say for example if I had different coloured objects or different height objects, so you may have some different coloured objects, some different height objects as well. What you'll do, I'll show you one or two quick examples. So as you're doing a ball movement, that person who's there to assist you, oversee you or watch what you're doing might shout out a colour, so might say yellow, and I'm going to try and see if we can get over the yellow. And I'm showing around again, ball movement orange, so I'll try and get over the orange one. And I'm travelling, orange, there we go, and so on. Okay, so using that person there with you to help you, again, create a reaction, create a decision, and also change your movement as well, okay? So, a few different variations there for the less experienced and those who are newer to football or maybe a younger age group, and also those who are more experienced in a higher age group. But a few different variations which you can really start to challenge yourself with, okay? Excellent.
Right, so that was our circuit exercise. So remember, for the circuit exercise, it's really important that we get lots of repetition in. I said to you before, the more objects that you have, the more repetition that you can create. But the key points from that exercise is just to be as creative as possible, okay, and to explore as many different ways that you can think of to try and get that ball up and over. I gave you a few ideas, but if you can think of any more, brilliant. Be as creative and as outside the box as you possibly can, okay? Making it realistic to a game of football. Say, for example, a defender's coming in to tackle you and they're putting their foot in. You just want to try and get that ball up and over, not too high and not too away from your feet, but just up and over to avoid them from taking possession off of you. So, now we're going to move into our final session, which is going to be our fun challenge session, which is going to be our cool down as well. And for this, keep hold of 4 objects, okay? Again, I'm using my cones. But again, you would have had objects in that last session, so just keep hold of 4 of them, because that's going to help us to create a box. You still need your ball. Once you've got your 4 objects, once you've got your ball, we're ready to go. Okay, so for this cool down exercise, this fun exercise, what we're going to do is we're going to create the box out with 4 objects. You're going to start inside the box with the ball in your hand. And you're simply just going to try and see if you can keep the ball in your hands, moving from hand to hand, but making sure you're not actually holding it, okay? You can travel around the box if you want to, you can go in different directions, and you're just trying to see how many times you can keep it up without it dropping on the floor. If you want to, you can put a bit of a jog in as well. Remember, this is a cool down, so you don't want to go too fast, we don't be too physically demanding, because today's session is doing exactly that. We've done lots of physically demanding movements with our body, with the ball at our feet as well. And also as well, a lot of psychological thinking too, okay? How we're doing things, why we're doing things, when and where as well, how that's reacting. Okay, so that's how we start this one off. Then we're going to try and do is just try and include different parts of the body. Okay, so I might do, say for example, my knee. Keep going, keep going, keep going, yeah. Knee again. Knee, shoulder. Whoa, take another drop. And you're just trying to see if you can keep track of your score. If it does drop, don't worry. Okay, if it drops, just start the score over again, and then you can start and see if you can beat the previous score that you got. So you're just trying to explore using different parts of the body to keep the ball up. Then making sure the ball isn't staying still and it's constantly moving around. If you want to use a different part of the body, so maybe the shoulder, which I'm using, you've got to think about how high you need that ball to be. Maybe that in the foot. There we go. Knee again. Knee, forward, changing myself a little bit. This is a good opportunity because it's not that physically demanding, okay, that you can try and challenge yourself. So it might be foot, hand, knee, hand, foot, hand. I'm just trying to be as creative as possible here. Making sure the ball doesn't stay still and it's constantly moving. A little bit longer. Make sure you always bring the ball back into the box and start to go up. Oh, there we go, bring it back in. Oh, make sure it's too long there. And so on. Okay, so be as creative as you want with that one. Making sure you're getting lots of touches on the ball. Remember, it's a cool down, so we don't want to be too physically demanding in this one. Again, it's another opportunity for us to challenge ourselves and explore. And if you are that young brain group, my advice to you would be try and stick with the hands, but travel around. Maybe try and do bigger movements between the hands, or have the hands further apart, so it creates a bit of a more demanding challenge. Or what we do up in the air as well if you want to. Okay, so using the hands up in the air as well. As well, if you're building a different part of the body, I'll always do one part and then go back to your hands, okay? One part of the body, back to your hands. Like that. Super. As well, if you do need to bounce in between, that's fine as well, so you might do something like this. Bounce, then kick. Keep it moving. Bounce, kick. Knee. Knee. But again, the ball is always constantly moving around. Super. If you're of that higher age group, or the more experienced age group, then I'll be expecting you to combine a few movements at a time. So as an example, you may use your hands, or you may just use different parts of the body straight away. So it might be
3, knee, hand, 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 hand. 4, 4, hand, 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 hand. Knee, 4, hand, 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 hand. Knee, 4, hand, 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 hand. And of course, if you wanted to, you can do it, I say stationary, I mean within the air and maybe facing one constant direction, obviously not just standing still, always keeping light on your toes. But you could just maybe do 4, 4, and almost doing some kick-ups. Okay? But then again, the challenge would be rather than just doing kick-ups, and rather than just constantly doing 1 foot all the time, try and see if you can use again 2 movements. So left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Knee, knee, left, knee, left, left, knee, left, left, right, left, knee, knee, and so on. Okay? It's your chance to be as creative as you want. It's a cool down, so not too physically demanded. And again, maybe if you have somebody else with you or somebody else to assist or what you're doing, they can maybe shout out some things. So you could be a hand, 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 knee, left foot, right foot, knee, 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 left foot, right foot, knee, knee, and so on. Okay? A few different variations there for you, but like I said, just take it easy on that one and explore different parts of the body which you can use to be able to keep that pull up. I would advise against using the head, okay? Don't use your head. We're just looking at maybe our feet, our hands, possibly our shoulders, and maybe our thigh area as well, okay? So, give it a try, a few different variations, a few different levels of challenges, and see how far or how many you can get. Excellent. Cool, so that's the end of session 2. Just going to do a quick recap on some of the key points that we focused on today. So looking back at the start, where we was focusing on getting lots of touches on the ball and lots of repetition. Today we've explored using the sole of our foot, the inside of our foot, the outside of our foot, and also looked at starting to use the front area, so just below the laces, to try and find different techniques and different ways of getting the ball up and over. Some of the key points that I've mentioned as well throughout is being able to be creative and trying to explore as many different ways. Even in that fun challenge that we done at the end, it was all about just trying to challenge yourself, trying to have fun and trying to be as creative as possible. I really hope that you've liked today's session. Please make sure that you subscribe and also comment and like on the video. Share some of your feedback, let us know how you got on, let us know any future sessions which you want to try and see, and we'll try and make sure we get them in there. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next session.